What's up, guys? We're back, but we're doing something different this time. We're going to call this show MMA 101. As always, I'm here with my co-host, Josh Stillman. Josh, this is kind of your idea. We wanted to make a show about 15, 20, 30 minutes long that's tailored more to the casual MMA fan. Josh and I are pretty deep into MMA, so we just like to get some perspective from other people and talk about the current events and stuff, and we don't want to waste your time on our DraftKings show. And today we actually have a special guest, Josh Hayes. I would not call him a casual MMA fan, but he's been gracious enough to come on the show today and talk about some things. Had a little webcam issues, so we only got audio. But Hayes, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, what's up?
Not too much, dude. Thanks for coming on. Josh, what do you got to say, man? This is your project. Josh Stillman.
Well,
sorry.
actually, I can't take full credit for this. I appreciate it anyway, but this is actually my wife's idea, surprisingly, with how much time I already spend on MMA researching, reading about, writing about, whatever. She sort of had the idea of me doing, or us doing, another kind of MMA podcast project thing that's more accessible to like just the average person. Pretty much everyone that I talk to, I don't know, Drew, if this is true for you as well, but everyone that I talk to is sort of either doesn't know a whole lot about MMA or only has a very like a casual interest in it or a passing interest in it or doesn't know a whole lot about it. And so we wanted to like have a show that would be kind of geared more toward them. Like what are the things that you as a casual fan like need to know? What are the important things without us going like on our DraftKings show, Daily Fantasy Knockout? Obviously we're going like a deep dive into every single fight and doing analysis on individual fighters and the entire card, even the undercard, the two guys starting the show that you don't know anything about. So this show isn't really like that. This is more just for talking about like the main headlines in MMA universe and kind of giving like I don't know, an expert or like a hardcore fan's perspective into these things, but then also us getting like the more casual fans' perspective, which we often don't see because we're so deep into it. So that was sort of the idea. I have to thank good old wife character for the idea. So
good stuff.
Yeah, without further ado, you want to get into it?
Yeah, so basically what Josh just said is we're going to talk about what happened and do a bunch of BSing, and yeah, that's about it. Josh Hayes is joining us today. Like I said, he's not the casual MMA fan. Josh and I went to high school together, grew up together up in Erie, Pennsylvania, and somehow I started talking to him about MMA, and he's very well-versed and educated. So thanks for coming on, Josh. First topic, Cyborg, man. Popped by USADA today, diuretic, I believe.
Breaks my heart.
Right? I mean, I guess that brings into question, too, what a slap in the face to her for the UFC giving that first title shot to Holly Holm. Maybe they knew this. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Josh, you want to go first, or you want me to hit this one first?
Hey, you can go first, man.
All right. Well, just like looking at, I mean, this gives like perhaps some like clarification or some reasoning behind why Cyborg turned down those title fights. Remember, like the whole reason Cyborg's been in the news for the most part for the past week or so is because the UFC finally decided to create the women's featherweight 145-pound division, which they didn't want to do. They kept having Cyborg cut down to 140 pounds, not really for any reason, just because there was no 145-pound division. Well, there's also no 140-pound division, but they kept having her cut down and fight basically like blown up bantamweights there for her 2 UFC fights. And so they finally decided to create the 145-pound division. She's a big draw. She could make the UFC, the new owners, a lot of money. That's their bottom line here, is make as much money as they possibly can as fast as they can, because there's that whole deal with the loan not being very good because they borrowed $4 billion or whatever to make the sale happen. So they're trying to make as much money as they can, so they make this division, and then she turns down these title fights, and rather than wait a few weeks for her to like get her situation squared away or agree to a fight in March or whatever instead of February. They just move forward with this title fight between Holly Holm and Jermaine Durandamy, who maybe are best suited for 145, but neither one of them is really.
They're not the best in the division. That's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't consider them if you were going to talk about who's going to be in the first 145-pound title fight. Holm maybe, but only because of her name, really. I mean, she's lost 2 fights in a row. So that's what she's been in the news for lately, is because she turned down these fights in February. They want to have this featherweight title fight on the Brooklyn card in February, and Cyborg said no. And so maybe this has given her a reason. So, like, is the reason why she said no is because she was like on this treatment or whatever. So, Josh, like, what have you heard? What do you want to weigh in on this?
I haven't done a whole lot of research. I just found out about it. I texted Drew, but I don't think that the UFC had any idea that this was going to happen. Because if they did, they would have outed her a while ago and not gone through all the drama of her not being in title fights.
That's a really good point.
I don't know, man. I don't like Holly Holm coming off 2 losses getting a title fight.
Yeah, it's not ideal, especially for like the first fight in that division. Like, you think Cyborg would be an automatic, you're fighting for the title, but
yeah, that makes me know that the UFC is not ready for that division. That division is going to be a flop for a while.
Yeah, you got to think they got to build from it. Like, I don't know how many of these women are going to be able to just jump up and wait and fight in that division. Are they going to bring outsiders in? Like,
that's the thing. No one knows. This new company, no one knows.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Either way, Cyborg, if this is legit, I don't foresee her being around for a long time. So that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, they made the division for her. Like, she is the whole reason that the division got made in the first place. Aside from maybe a few women like Holm and Durandamy and maybe a couple of other ones, a couple other bantamweights who are already in the UFC who have a tough cut, like moving up. Like, there's not really a whole lot of like high-profile featherweight women out there. Otherwise, Cyborg would already have fought them or be fighting them. She's fought some people in Invicta, but you got to figure that. I mean, I would assume that if the UFC wants to make this division happen, which I assume if they're going to have a title fight, they need to do. They're going to have to bring in most of Invicta's 145-pound division, because there's literally at this point no one else out there. A couple of people in Bellator like Marlus Kunin and stuff, but I mean, they have their contracts over there anyway. It just seems really weird to have move forward with this division without Cyborg, and now that she's popped,
they'll probably
do a long time before she ever.
They'll probably do an Ultimate Fighter with a women's bantamweight division, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought they were getting rid of the Ultimate Fighter.
They got rid of it?
I thought they were getting rid of it. They might not.
I think they're probably going to be scaling it back a lot. I don't know if they'll get rid of it entirely, but I mean, the tough Latin America, the tough Brazil, the tough road to the UFC, Japan, whatever it was called, they're probably going to be getting rid of those.
It was
they're going to get
overly saturated. There were so many, and kind of lost its luster to me. Enjoyable, but all right.
It'll be interesting. The one way that they can have a marketable fight after this one is if Rousey beats Nunes and Holm beats Durandamy. Then they can do Rousey can go up and try to become the second person to hold simultaneous belts in the UFC.
Yeah, that's a possibility. There's so many ways I could go. I mean, I don't know. I guess we just kind of have to sit back and wait and see what happens.
Without Cyborg in the picture, that's the biggest money fight that they can make.
Right.
On the women's side, anyway.
All right. UFC on Fox 22. Paige, Sage.
Yeah, the
going down in
Paige and show. Yeah. I'm curious, Josh. How much of this have you seen, or how much do you know about Paige and Sage? Drew said that you're a pretty big MMA fan, so
I texted him throughout the entire fight card. If that.
No, okay.
I saw the whole entire thing except the last 2 fights, and I was bummed I had to leave that house.
Oh dang.
That sucks.
So did you catch them on DVR or something?
I caught the highlights on YouTube.
Okay. So what are your sort of opinions of Paige and Sage, the Blantarage, as I've heard the guys on the co-main event podcast call them?
I think there's a ton of talent there. I think if they're dedicated and they actually work at it, they'll be good. But I think the hype train kind of got them thrown into deep waters that they weren't ready for.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, I think Sage especially could just do with he should not really be in fights for a while. He needs to round out his game, and he keeps getting thrown in there because he's a draw.
Yeah, got smoked on the ground. That's all he needs to focus on. Mickey Gall worked him over, like I said.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of sad
your
that
other call.
What's that?
You blew your other call. The other guy got torn to pieces.
De Silva?
Yeah.
Well, you win some, you lose some. I'm impressed. You listen.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for listening. But also thank you for putting us on blast on our other project.
I love it. Hey, we'll own it. Uriah Faber, retirement tour. That was pretty cool. Did you guys see he was on the desk with Dominic Cruz and they kind of squashed their beef? It was pretty cool.
I didn't see that.
You didn't?
Did you? No, I didn't catch that.
No, it was on Fox Sports 1, the post-fight desk, whatever. Faber and Cruz were sitting next to each other, and they were just throwing respect back and forth to each other about their rivalry, and Cruz gave him a poster of some sort with, like, I don't know. I didn't really get to see it, but he gave him a poster, and I don't know if he signed it or whatever, but it was a pretty cool thing because those guys hated each other. I'm sure they still do, but
yeah. Did you see the trash talk between him and Cody Garbrandt, Cruz and Cody Garbrandt?
Oh, dude, I'm so hyped up for that fight. I cannot wait for Cody Garbrandt. I don't know if he has a chance though. I don't know how to read that fight. What do you think?
He got killed on the mic. Let's just say that first of all. Josh, did you see that at all?
Yeah, that was bad. Dominic Cruz ran circles around him on the mic.
Oh
yeah,
man,
Cody,
it was embarrassing.
I don't know. He's just not good at shit talking. Maybe he's not the smartest guy, but I hope he goes in there and storms Cruz.
Oh, me too.
Oh man, I can't wait.
That's like a Mayweather fight. I buy that fight just to see him lose.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, he's just like an arrogant punk. I mean, he's good. I don't know. You're probably into him still, aren't you? You're always into the wrong person.
You're a huge McGregor fan. You're talking about wanting to see the arrogant guy lose. I find that ironic.
I like McGregor's arrogance better than I like Dominic Cruz's.
Oh yeah, I mean
both
he's
to get beat.
What'd you say?
I want them both to get beat.
Nah, I want McGregor to fucking edit that out. I want McGregor to be the GOAT. He's the man.
The thing with Cruz is he's not flashy with his trash talk so much, but he's just like very matter of fact. Like, I am better than you. I'm going to beat you. How could you even beat me? That's like his main trash talk is like, what are you gonna do? And they're just like, oh, I'm gonna catch your chin. He's like, no, you're not. And I beat all your teammates, and I bought a house with your teammates.
Oh, you lost
money.
To this guy. I beat your teammate here. He is very matter of fact when he talks trash.
He's interesting. I mean, like, I always want to see like the dominant champion get pushed. I don't necessarily want to see Cruz lose, but I'd like to see him get pushed. And if Garbrandt knocked him out, I mean, that would be a pretty amazing feat. But yeah, it should be a very entertaining fight nonetheless. Very good co-main event, without a doubt.
All right. Anyway, UFC on Fox 22. Let's jump to 206. 145-pound belt. Holloway, Pettis. Did you guys get to watch it? Josh?
I watched the undercard and the Fight Pass prelim.
Okay.
Had to work that night.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, dang. That was an excellent main card. I love Max Holloway. I mean, I really like Swanson Choi was on the main card. Yeah,
dude, that was the fight of the night.
That was the fight of the year, maybe.
Yeah,
for only
very
being a
well.
3-round fight, for not being like a title fight or like one with very high stakes, was an amazing fight. Ridiculous.
I don't know how Choi
Josh,
didn't
did you see?
fall over.
I don't know how they both did. They both were like could have gotten knocked out multiple times throughout the whole thing. They were just like,
shot. Hayes, did you get to see that? I hope you
What?
watched it on YouTube.
What?
The Swanson Choi fight.
Yeah, I caught the highlights. It looked crazy.
Dude,
That was the fight I wanted to see.
it was an absolute war. Holloway and Pettis. Holloway taking the interim strap. What do you think about that, Josh Stillman?
I love Holloway. I like Pettis too, but he's sort of frustrating because he doesn't seem to be able to like. I mean, he missed weight here, so the weight cut might have like played a pretty big role in him not performing very well. But he's just not really had a lot of success lately because people have figured out like how to beat him. They pressure him. They throw more volume than him. That's kind of what Barboza and Holloway did. They just throw more than him. He spends too much time trying to snipe and look for the kill shot, and if he can't get it, either with like a submission or a knockout punch or kick or something, then he loses because he's not a person who wins rounds, which is kind of frustrating. I mean, he was doing such amazing things in WEC and like in his early UFC run. You're just like, this dude is like a top shelf athlete and has insane killer instinct, and he's going to be a pound for pound great for years. And then like multiple people just stuck him to the cage, made him look really bad, or just threw more volume than him and had good enough defense not to get knocked out. So he just hasn't really looked good. It's kind of looking at Pettis is kind of depressing, but looking at Holloway is super exciting.
Instead of going back to the drawing board and learning how or changing his game, he decided I'll just cut weight. So instead of trying something new, he just sucked weight. It looked awful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's sad to watch him, man. I root hard for him. He's a likable guy.
Yeah, no drama.
Definitely.
So
his fight with Oliveira was exciting, but I mean, yeah, I 100% agree with what Hayes, you were saying with him not. You wonder if it's his camp, like Duke Rufus. He's been training at Rufus Sport for his entire career, and I think he sort of had like a dual corner with Greg Jackson for a little while. But you wonder if Rufus is like too close to him at this point. He's like almost a father figure to him that he can't point out weaknesses to Pettis or be real with him. Like, yeah, he definitely needs some kind of change. I mean, he's definitely got the skills. Like he's got sick jiu-jitsu and
he has the skills. So like a change of camp, change of scenery. I mean, sometimes you look in other sports, like they struggle and kind of wear out their welcome, and then they get a change of pace or change of scenery, and sparks them or whatever, however you want to say it. But that's an interesting point.
Yeah,
You've been with him his whole life, right, Rufus? Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, like since he was a teenager, like that's who taught him striking from the beginning. As far as I know.
I mean, I just don't know what else he could do to make a change. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs a different camp or something, or needs Jackson or somebody like that to like really take the lead in his training. He needs like I think it's like strategy and game plan maybe more than anything else. Like you need to be throwing like this many strikes. You're only throwing 10 strikes a minute, for example. Just throw out a number. You need to be throwing 20. You need to be like moving forward rather than moving backward or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Like
Change up his style. That's a good point. Looking at his opponent, Holloway winning the interim strap, and him versus Aldo next, we hope.
Holloway's a stud.
Yeah, dude, he's an absolute beast.
I don't know. I thought I saw that Aldo was getting a title fight up a weight class for an interim strap.
I saw that too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Like, okay, so first of all, Holloway beats Pettis and comes out with the hashtag where what was it? Where's Waldo or where's Aldo?
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was good, but then he says, but then he doesn't take the fight. Apparently, he was supposed to fight Aldo in Brooklyn, and Holloway doesn't take the fight. I'm kind of confused on that. I heard that he wants to meet with the new UFC owners and rework his contract, which makes sense.
Oh,
now that he's
I heard it was family.
Huh?
I heard it was family. He didn't want to train for Aldo and Aldo pull out, and then he missed Christmas and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, but I did hear that Aldo got offered a fight with, I don't remember who it was with, but it was an interim lightweight title fight.
I think it was Habib.
That would be insane. Aldo's so good. I just want to see him fight before he really declines physically. So I don't really care who it's against. Holloway, Khabib, Ferguson, Conor. I just want to see those top guys in those two divisions fight one another. What do you guys think?
Who do you think would win that fight, Holloway and Aldo?
I don't know. Hayes, you have an opinion?
What Jose Aldo are we getting?
Very good question.
I mean, he looked phenomenal against Edgar in his last fight. I think he just got caught by Conor.
Yeah, Conor just frazzled him.
Yeah, I mean,
he couldn't handle the.
You don't want to take away Conor's achievement in knocking him out. That is amazing what he did, but it's also not repeatable. I don't think it's not something that's very repeatable. I think Conor is right to try to be oh, I already beat you, I don't need to fight you again. And just keep harping on that the whole time and not talk about the fact that a rematch with Aldo would actually probably be very, very hard.
Yeah. Yeah. He got in his head. He just caught him off guard. He came in too fast.
Kind of fluky. I mean.
But who knows? Who knows, man? He touches you with that hand and you go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, who are we to doubt McGregor? He's put down everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to see the Aldo Holloway fight. I think that would be a fantastic fight.
That would be so many leg kicks.
Yeah, it would. Who falls over first?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I honestly don't know who to pick at that point, at this early junction.
Well, that's all we got, man. Josh, you there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for joining us. First episode, MMA 101. Talking about what's going on in MMA. Thanks to Josh Hayes for joining us. I foresee him being a guest in the future. Hopefully I can educate him on some DraftKings and we can get him involved with that too. So Josh, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Follow Josh on Twitter at JRH5249. Follow me on Twitter at Houdini16. Stillman?
You can follow me at Stonewall MMA. You can also find my writing at Low Kick MMA. I'm going to have a Fighter of the Year list coming out in the next week or so. And if you like either this podcast or our Daily Fantasy Knockout DraftKings related podcast, you can also pledge to support Drew and I on Patreon, patreon.com/Daily Fantasy Knockout.
Yep.
Rewards for decide to pledge at. There are different rewards there. So things that we think will be pretty cool. We're looking to interact more with our fan base and make this a better product, and that's how you can help us do that. So you can also give us a like here or on the YouTube channel or on iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever. Give us a positive rating. All those kinds of things will help us out a lot, and we really appreciate them.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us for the inaugural episode. Wish you guys a happy holiday, and we will be back next Wednesday or Thursday to break down UFC 207 on Daily Fantasy Knockout. So thanks for joining us. Shout out to Josh Hayes again for joining us. For Josh Stillman, my co-host, I'm Drew. Peace.
Peace.